This is the study guide for section 3.4. It's on adjacent angles and linear pairs. So just like all your study guides, they tell you some good information at the top. They tell you exactly what adjacent angles are and what they look like. Same thing with a linear pair. So adjacent angles, they're next to each other. They share a vertex, they share a ray, and they don't overlap. Your linear pairs, they must be adjacent angles first and foremost. And then the second part is they must be linear. They got to make a line, right? Line is the first part of linear. So we're just going to identify some angles. Angle 1 and angle 2 form a linear pair. Is that true or false? Well, they're not adjacent angles. So I don't really even care what their measures are. This one's false. They have to be adjacent. If they're not adjacent, they're not a linear pair. Number 2, angle 4 and angle 5 form a linear pair. Yeah, they definitely do. And again, I don't need to know their measures. I can see clearly that they're adjacent, and then they make this line. There's only 2 angles there that form that line. Number 3, angle 6 and angle 3 are adjacent angles. They have different vertices. That's false. Angle 7 and angle 8 are adjacent angles. That's true. They're right next to each other. They share that vertex, that ray. They don't overlap. Number 5, angle CAT, that's this angle here. I can clearly see that's a 90-degree angle. And angle 7 are adjacent angles. Well, this angle 7 is inside of the right angle, so they overlap. That's false. So you really didn't need all of these measures that they gave you. This bottom part, we're going to use the term adjacent angles, linear pair, or neither to describe angles 1 and 2 in as many ways as possible. So look at angle 1 and angle 2. They're right next to each other. They share this vertex, this ray. They don't overlap. These are adjacent angles. And they need to be adjacent angles before they can be a linear pair. These are adjacent angles that make a line. That's what a linear pair is. To be a linear pair, they have to be adjacent. So if you said linear pair, you automatically classified them both ways. I don't know why they wanted you to write them both as well. Number 7, these angles are adjacent. They're right next to each other. They share a vertex. They share a ray. They don't overlap. Now, they do not make a line. Notice how these rays here, the non-shared sides, they don't make a line. Okay, but these ones do. And these are adjacent. So they're adjacent angles, using an abbreviation, and a linear pair.